Happy Monday. It is March 16th, 2020, and this is Melody Johnson with This Worthy Woman. And our reading today is from the card Rings of Time. And an interesting card, and probably very appropriate for today and for our times. And we're all rushing about trying to get ourselves organized, and some of us are hurrying to get back from other countries to our home country, and it can be a bit of a scary time. How many of you are beginning to feel sort of like you're in a I don't know what, but just a spin, just a tailspin. And so I want to remind us, and this is what I'm seeing in this card, is that if we stay tuned into ourselves, which means take a breath, ground down into your own being, ground down into yourself. We have got to become more connected. In fact, I think that probably this is going to be quite an opportunity, if we choose it, to have an awakening, another whole new level of understanding, because life is not about just worrying about how we're going to die. Life is also worrying about living. Well, not worrying, because it's not about worrying. It's anything about that. It's not about fretting. It is about locking down, locking in, and how appropriate that we are pretty much on a lockdown right now with the COVID-19 virus. So I think, you know, it's a beautiful thing up here in the card, and you'll be able to see this at thisworthywoman.com. But we are about to find greater connection if we can, if we choose. Now, are we used to being at home together all the time? Probably a lot of us are not. A lot of us are often working all day long and going to different events, taking our kids to different events, and all of that is going on. But this is going to be our time to take time to connect and, you know, just be with your kids, be with your partners, be with your family that you have at home. And for those of you that are on lockdown at home and quarantined, and most of us are isolating, and I think that's probably a good thing. You know, the beautiful thing when we talk about rings of time here, this is not something new in our world. So, you know, I think sometimes I feel like I'm in the middle of Hunger Games. It's like first there's, you know, tornadoes and hurricanes, and in one area of the world there's locusts coming in Russia, there's the whole coronavirus going on. Everything is going on. It just seems like we're being hit nonstop. And the only thing we can do is tap into ourselves. We have so much common sense within us if we would pause, take the time. You know what? Shut off the TV. Listen to the news once every day if you have to, just to stay up to date. Because when it's times like this, you do need to stay up to date. But you know, you don't necessarily have to believe everything you're reading and hearing. There is so much information. I can't tell you what's true. I don't know. Some people say that, you know, the Gates Foundation's owned this virus. That doesn't make sense, because then the next person is saying, oh, it's because of climate, you know, problems and all the climate controls that are not being taken care of, and that's why we have this virus. And I'm like, those two don't seem to go hand in hand at all. And here's the only thing I do know. We have common sense within us. Pause, take a breath. What do you need if we have to stay home for the next 2 to 4 weeks? What do you need? And what do you need to be able to do? You need a puzzle? Do you need games for the kids? You know, there's so much going on online right now. And so take advantage of that with you, your kids, your partners. It is not something to be so afraid of. It really isn't. We have survived a millennial. Oh, we've survived more than that. We've survived eons of viruses and so on. Will we all survive? No, of course not. We will not. And there will be much sadness and there will be sorrow. But that's part of life. And I think that if we can calm down and just take and pull ourselves in and begin to look deeper within us, this is a chance for us to have some downtime as well. And when I say downtime, I mean you're going to have to shut off the panic. You're going to have to choose to be able to stand and remain steadfast, knowing that we are always an evolving species and we are always finding new ways to survive and evolve. Count on that. Count on common sense. Time goes on. Time immemorial, as they say. It goes on. It never stops turning and shifting and being different. But because we have so much news hitting us all the time from a million different directions, okay, some say to take deep breaths, some say that's false news. I can't give you those answers. But I can tell you the basics of good nutrition, building a strong and keeping a strong immunity system is important. I can tell you that, the stores are sold out of all the things to wipe with and do with. So, pull the vinegar out of your cupboard. It's going to help sanitize. There are so many ways that you can keep you and your family safe. You and your loved ones just can take time. Have a moment every day to stay calm and know that we can love each other, take care of each other, and be kind to the person next to us. That is all. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. Bye for now.